Pleased with the running game, especially. We had some things going into the game against UTEP that we thought we had to do. By the way, they loaded the box. They played a lot of man-free. It's very similar to Florida A&M 2 weeks ago. We knew what we were going to expect. The kids did a great job of executing the plan that we had set up to exploit them. In the perimeter run game, with a little bit more quarterback run, getting Lindsey and Victor Mark involved in some of the run game, that we could handle all their hats. So it was good to see them execute what we had asked them to do. We want to be better in the pass game against some of those one-on-ones, because if you can add that to the mixture, it's awfully hard to defend you that way. So we got to get better at beating some man coverage, and with our crossing stuff and with some vertical throws, I don't think we're where we need to be on consistent downs there. But great effort. Execution was good. I thought we played with good intensity. Third quarter we came out a little flat. I thought the first series or two didn't get our motor started for a while, but the defense picked us up. They were playing very well in the second half, and then we got the turnover and then kind of jumped on it again and went. But very pleased so far. But as you're as good as your last game, and in my mind right now you're 0-0, and we're getting ready to go into the second phase of the season.
Let's talk about the challenge that you faced this week against a tough Pittsburgh defense.
Yeah, it's funny because everybody looks at the stats, and as a coach, I'm not a big stat guy. Whether you're playing really well or whether you're playing really bad, I don't care. I just know what I see on tape. They've kind of evolved from week 1 to week 4. They've changed defensively. I think they tried something early in the year, didn't feel it was the right thing for their personnel, and now they're set in what they want to be, I think. And we have a great advantage point because we saw Notre Dame's offense live and in color, and we all know that they're very, very talented. You take the long run out, they probably hold Notre Dame to about 300 yards of offense, 320 yards of offense. They took the best receiver out of the game. Basically, he caught 1 ball, 2 balls, something like that in the game. They're good coaches. They're very, very physical. They're giving up 105 yards rushing, and they gave up some early, like in their early conference or non-conference games. It's hard for people to understand this, but we're getting ready to play a very good defense that's got a lot of confidence, and we're going to have our hands full. It's going to be a heck of a challenge for us offensively to do the things we want to do.
Todd, we talked a lot with Mark about his familiarity seeing Todd Graham's offenses in Conference USA. Does that help you at all? I mean, are you seeing similarities to what you saw defensively? Tulsa wasn't necessarily known for their defense in Conference USA.
It felt really good to when I turned on tape and he's not running the same defense.
Right. Yeah.
No, they've changed. They were a traditional 3-3 stack. West Virginia, he has a West Virginia background. We played them in a conference championship game and beat them one year, and then played them the next year at Tulsa. Were that almost 100% of the time. He's different. It's a different package. Now, what they're doing is not something we haven't seen before, but they've had a change of philosophy on defense.
What are the challenges, Todd, going on a short week like this from an offensive preparation standpoint?
It's a balance. You have to have your players fresh, and Coach Holtz does a great job of keeping that in the back of everybody's mind because he sees the big picture. But yet you still want to practice and get your timing and your fundamentals down, but you can't run them into the ground and beat them up because you have a short work week. So I think the biggest thing is the balance. And you can't do too much. We keep on going back to the game plan board and saying, no, we got to think, we got to, hesitation. You got to play fast, and you got to have a lot of confidence, especially on the road. You can't have mistakes, you can't have turnovers, you can't have minus yardage plays. So you have to stay ahead of the chains, and what you do best, do it. And if they can stop your best, then you have to have something to go back to. But we've got to stay focused on what we think our personnel does best, and make sure we can, block their things that they do differently, and go from there.